I heard about the Angelico Project long before it actually got on its feet. I heard it when it was a remarkable idea of a group of families and individuals in Cincinnati and beyond who were just deeply committed to the idea of really bringing our Catholic commitments as expressed through beauty to this area.
And I remember thinking this will be a game changer for Cincinnati, and that was 5 or 6 years ago. And to see it grow since then has been awesome.
The Angelico Project is a ministry that is focused on bringing about evangelization through a renewal of the arts and culture.
Going to that first event was really a wonderful experience and eye-opening to see what the human imagination can do.
And you look at some of the beauty of the Renaissance, for example, and sacred art, you can't help but just feel an absolute connection to Christ.
So I really love the method of Angelico, which is an invitation to discover something beautiful.
The arts are, to me, such a way to unify people.
That is what good art does, and that is what good Catholic art does better than anything else in the world.
My first Angelico Project experience was at Xavier University at a movie screening of a Joe Duca film. You know, just having something where all these Xavier students who go to a Catholic school but aren't necessarily Catholic, like, be inspired by a faith-based film. And I thought it was really a really special experience.
When I attend an Angelico event, I know I'm going to learn something new, so that's great. And to discover a treasure that usually we wouldn't even know was right under our nose in our own city.
First of all, I'm happy to see friends, and you want to see people who you have an affection for, and you want to invite people who you have an affection for to encounter something beautiful with you.
You know, even something as simple but also authentically beautiful as the concert that the Angelico Project hosted during Advent, it was so accessible. Anyone could have walked into the church that night and found a seat.
When I come to an Angelico event, I'm looking for peace. And I think that's usually what I leave with as well. That seems to be the common theme.
A big reason why I think a lot of young people are straying away from the faith is simply because people get lost.
And I don't really blame people for not wanting to be involved in something that doesn't inspire you or move you.
We're so inundated with content in our lives that we're placated by that, but it's like junk food, and we don't know like what we're missing.
There's so much content that we are constantly consuming, and it really shapes how we think and what we're drawn to and what is appealing to us.
I'm actually a reverted Catholic. Coming back, I understood that not only are there things that we're called to do to be virtuous people, but I think sometimes we forget that God also calls us to delight in the beauty around us, and sometimes you need something that can spark that.
Evangelization happens through encounters instead of educating to the right answers.
The whole idea of leading with beauty has worked in my life because I have people in my life who have lost their faith or lost the Catholic faith, and they don't go to church with me. But they've come to events. They've come to an event that Angelico had at the art museum, and they've come to concerts, and it has really, I think, ignited a lot of good conversations.
My experience with the Angelico Project came to me at a point in my life where I would say I was not religious at all. My mom had recently returned to the church, and she was the first one who had heard about it. And so she
kind of texted me, she's like, hey, they're doing a tour of the Basilica downtown. Why don't we go do that? It's a Saturday morning. And I thought, oh yeah, that'll be fun and an interesting thing to do. And it was just such an incredible, moving experience. My mom started looking up more tours and more events, and I kept saying yes to it. It unlocked in me a thirst that I didn't quite know that I had. I think I'd always been looking for something.
By leading with beauty, Angelico is absolutely unapologetic about the joy of our faith, unapologetic about the beauty and the excellence that is in the very heart of what it means to be a Catholic.
I think most of my brother priests are incredibly inspired by this great work that the Angelico Project is doing. I think they look at it as a shot in the arm of we need to present beauty and truth and goodness, and all the priests that I know desperately do that with everything that they have. They do it with all of their energy and all of their time, and still sometimes it doesn't seem like it's enough. I think what most priests feel is just a deep admiration for anyone willing to pick up that torch and to carry a witness of beauty and truth and goodness, and I think that's why so many of us are thankful for the Angelico Project.
I think there are more people out there who are seeking truth, goodness, and beauty, meaning seeking God, who are interested and open in the question of God than people realize, and there's not really many places for them to go.
It would be amazing to have a Catholic cultural center.
I would love to be able to have a place where I can bring out-of-towners to experience an exhibit or an event.
It would be so nice to walk in somewhere and to feel like I was supporting an initiative that was based on something exciting and good and beautiful, and to be surrounded by the fruits of that.